Okay, so before we can start the build, which is going to be soon, I want to just review, we've gone over some of the hardware parts, the spars, the connectors, and I just want to do a brief overview of the fabric that we're going to use. The main sail fabric is going to be made out of Icarus and PC31. I have some scraps here, and this is a ripstop polyester, and this is great because it doesn't fray when you cut it, and I like to hot cut it, but it's not actually necessary. And then it's got a great pattern, square pattern, and when you look at this fabric, sometimes we talk about with or against the bias, and we're referring to this pattern that's in the fabric, these squares. That's a nice silver piece, and then here's red. You can see it's a little bit harder to see on some of these, and you can always see colors through other colors, so it does matter how you layer them when you put seams together. So we're going to end up doing that. So here's the bias, two different colors, PC31 or Icarus, which is available online. Alright, so that's going to be the mainsail. And then reinforcements in a couple of spots, and it's common to use this, and if you wanted to make clear panels you could also use this. This is basically a reinforced mylar. Maybe hard to see in here, but it's basically a film, two films of mylar, and then it's got reinforcements in it. I definitely prefer to hot cut this, because when you cut it, if you don't melt through the strands of the reinforcement, you can end up with fraying, and that can later cause for tears or breaks in the fabric. This fabric can actually be a little bit brittle, so sewing through it by itself, you want to make sure your sewing machine spaces are, the holes are spaced out far enough that you're not cutting just a big hole. I've had an entire panel of a kite come out before. So we got PC31, reinforced mylar, and that is available in different weights. And for a while, this particular mylar with the lightweight with diagonal reinforcements wasn't available. So I think all of us kind of held on to that, but now you can order this again from the same place you can get the Icarus. And then sort of additional parts of the kite are going to be reinforced with different materials. The leading edges will be made out of Dacron. This is 2-inch Dacron, which you can see here, and it's relatively thick, and you will hot cut this so it doesn't fray. And the leading edges will be made out of that, and some reinforcements. And then we've got, this is 1-inch Dacron that we'll use to make the tail strap along with Velcro, which is here. And I don't know that I'll end up using this exact piece, but we'll end up stitching this on, and we'll make a tunnel for the spine right at the tail, and then that will go on there. Good, so that's those pieces. And then also for the trailing edge, we'll use, this is 1.5 ounce weight nylon ripstop cut down into 1-inch sections. And you can say that it also has a bias. The squares are a little bit closer together, maybe hard to see in the camera. And there is a 0.75 ounce nylon tape that you can get if we're making like ultralight or something like that. But this will be a standard build, so all of this is going to be what you would typically find on a standard weight kite build. And then the last thing, I've got some of this material. People will use different materials for the nose of a kite. They'll use seatbelt webbing, which I have. This is actually, it's very much, I think it's a Dacron, but then it's been coated with a plastic, or almost rubberized on the back. This is not Bissonel, which is also like truck tarp fabric. I have some of that. It's on the wall behind you, but it's in huge roll, so I may end up using that. I'll see what I like. Both of them work well for the nose of the kite and various reinforcements. Around the wear patch for the upper spreader, or around where the lower spreader connects to the spine. There's a hole in the sail there, and sometimes I use this to reinforce. And it's also easy to hot cut when you use templates. So that being said, fabric is pretty straightforward as long as you get the right stuff. All available from Kites and Fun Things online. The Icarus is pretty exclusively available from them because I believe they import it. But other fabrics, the Dacron and the ripstop nylons that we use for reinforcements, those can all be found on a variety of websites, so you'll want to check that out.